Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Falgacha, and I welcome Mr. Vishal Pranjale, Head of Cybersecurity and Business Resilience from Invesco India Private Limited. Hi, Vishal, if you can introduce yourself.
Hi, Fal. Thank you very much, first of all, for having me here. And let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Pranjale, and I'm heading the cybersecurity and business resilience for Invesco India Private Limited. Now, in cybersecurity, I have almost 2 decades of experience. Started from various consulting background way back since 2000. From the technical implementations and then the moved up ladder working in many different consulting organizations. To name a few like Wipro, Palladian, then PwC, Accenture, and after 18, 19 years, here I am in Hyderabad in Invesco India Private Limited in heading cybersecurity and business resilience, a team of around 32 team members in Hyderabad. So that's about me. Of course, in addition to the experience, I have some cybersecurity certifications, mainly CISSP, CISA, CISM, and some other certifications. So that's about me in very brief.
Wow, great exposure. I think you have worked in many of the organizations which everyone would probably dream of. Great. So
Yeah.
we'll take very crisp view from your side and your experience around. So today we will be going to talk about a very important aspect of information security, which is employee awareness. And trust me, this has been my interest area as well. So how your experience so far went with information security awareness area?
So this is a very good question, Fal. And in my 20 years of information security experience, I have seen many companies, seen many information security awareness programs, and worked on many programs as a consultant and from a company perspective also. I think overall in the Indian market and outside also, the awareness levels are increasing day by day, and with the social media power what we have now, it was not the case some years before, but now I think the overall cybersecurity awareness, it's majorly increasing, and companies are having the focus on the security awareness also. So mostly all the cybersecurity teams and now the board members also, they know the importance of cybersecurity and they know the importance of cybersecurity awareness. And as we might already know that people are the weakest link in cybersecurity, right? So
Rightly said.
it's very much important to educate the employees, and at least they should know the typical do's and don'ts for the cybersecurity.
That's a very important aspect you have spoken around. So let me ask you this: what's your experience so far in the awareness piece?
If you talk about the experience, so uh, I have seen wherein the awareness for cybersecurity awareness, the company spending a minimal, having minimal budget for cybersecurity awareness to now moving in 2020, wherein there is a good budget which is planned for most of the companies for cybersecurity. And I've seen a lot much exposure and lot much improvement in the cybersecurity awareness programs also. So typically, and you would know, like 5 or 10 years before, when we talk about awareness, it would have been one PPT shared with all the employees, and they would just go through the PPT.
Kind of
But now,
mandatory module. No one likes
yeah,
it, but
yeah,
it's a next finish binary item, tick in
and
the box item. I agree.
correct, and just have some 8 to 10 questions at the end of the PPT, and that's it. But now, with the cybersecurity exposure and with the focus, there are a lot of innovation which has come in the awareness programs also. So, to just name a few, like having say gamification, like in one of my previous organizations, so it used to be like a video game where the employees would be given one situation and they need to respond, and accordingly they will get some points or marks. So now it has become very much interesting, and cybersecurity again being a little dry subject, it becomes very much important for to engage the employees if we share some of the interesting stuff.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree on the dry subject because let's say when you talk about, let's say, don't share passwords, they will say, okay, oh, we know all these things, right? But when
yeah, that's
when there are spam issues or cases where the fraudulent activity happened, they will say, oh, we don't know anything about it, right? So that's how the balance always works. Yeah, go on.
that's correct. And the general tendency is okay, it might be happening somewhere in the world, but it cannot happen with me.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's the general tendency though. So they don't think that okay, it can happen with me, and that's where the overall cybersecurity awareness program comes in picture.
That's
So
interesting.
yes, means if you ask me my experience, just to summarize these points, so I have seen a lot many changes over a period of time and lot many innovative ways for the cybersecurity awareness.
Yeah, so for the viewers, let's jump into the actual discussion. So, why this podcast was initiated, because I've learned from you. So, I was searching for my organization to do some good way of doing the information security awareness, and when I spoke to you, I was amazed by what you have done so far. So, I am very happy to share, to have your view on this particular aspect. So if you can tell our viewers that what you have done so far around information security awareness in Invesco itself, the recent project, that will be helpful.
Sure, Paul, and I think it's a very good subject, very close to my heart. Uh, when we started the security awareness, when I joined Invesco 4 years before, and we have seen the requirement to have a continuous program. Though there was global efforts for the security awareness, and there were some global programs, but being said that the audience, the employees matters because location wise there will be a different requirement. So India, considering the attrition rate of 12 to 14% in any organization, and with younger workforce in India, I think it is the continuous requirement to have a security awareness program. So what we have done is we have come up with a yearly calendar, and some of the activities which would go in periodically, like once in a 15 days, one Yammer post would go to the employee saying, hey, did you know this? Do you know that? And some security awareness related point to that. So we chalk out the yearly plan like that. And then in last October, we have planned our 3 weeks risk aware program. So that was the highlight of the security awareness program overall. In these 3 weeks, we plan many activities, and some of the activities, and we have received a very good response from the employees as well as senior management. Now I will talk about the each of the activities. It will be a little bit more detail, so please bear with me. So we what we have
For
done
sure,
is
that's what we wanted to learn from you, and probably using our experience.
sure, thanks. So in last October, so our cybersecurity senior management, they were about to come to Hyderabad, and we thought of taking that opportunity. So to start the security awareness program, to announce it, the very first session what we have planned is we have planned the chief security officer, chief information security officer, the global BR head, global physical security head. So we have planned a manager and above level connect with the entire cybersecurity leadership.
Hmm.
It was a targeted connect, because cybersecurity awareness, when we talk, it should be customized as per the audience. So for the normal junior level employees, it should be according to their levels. For managers and senior management, I think they should know some more information. So it was again registration based program. More than 100 managers they attended, and we have clearly given the message about their role, what they need to play in the leading team. So they should know more about what they should do and what's their role in managing the cybersecurity awareness. And of course, we have briefed them about how overall world is moving, how the financial industry is doing in cybersecurity. Then what is Invesco's plan? What are our next year strategies in terms of cybersecurity? So that was the first session, and of course, it was well received by those managers and above.
That's
The,
interesting.
se- the second session, what we have planned is it was the normal employee connect. So any employee across levels, it was a connect with the cybersecurity senior management. And what happens is the employees, they tend to see me, say, being in Hyderabad quite often, but they don't get a chance to interact with the senior management level and understand their viewpoint from a cybersecurity perspective. Many times some of the employees, they wanted to pursue cybersecurity as a career option. So it was again good opportunity for the employees to know more about cybersecurity, and our intention was to to share some of the messages, also the awareness key messages, along with some other information. So that was also one more session which we have planned. So these two sessions, and I will just take a pause here to check if you have any points.
Yeah. We're going very well. So that's an interesting area which we are jumping into. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. The next session which we have planned, that was, sorry, my phone is ringing. So the next session, what we have planned, that was from an NGO. It is a Hyderabad-based NGO, mainly focus on cybersecurity awareness. The name of the NGO is End Now, and it's led by one of my close friend, Mr. Anil Rachmalla. So we have planned one session for the parents, mainly for their kids, and the topic of the session was about smartphone and social media controls and do's and don'ts for parents and for the kids. And of course, we know these challenges. I think we are facing it during the lockdown in at every home, the online presence of our kids, and what the do's and don'ts they should know.
That's
So
interesting. Yeah, that's very
yeah,
interesting area where we are connecting our families as well. So, that's where
that
probably everyone will feel good about.
yeah, and that was, I think that was more innovative approach what we are trying to do, because connecting with the families, that was the overall intention, along with having this cyber security awareness. So that session was also well received, and Mr. Anil, he explained the social media do's and don'ts and what are the controls and how they should follow those, along with the smartphone security and other smartphone controls as well. So that one session. The highlight of the overall program was the quiz, and this was the more than cyber security quiz, because we have decided to include some more risk areas like compliance risk, like regulatory risk, operational risk, and we have framed some of the questions on the basis of cyber security plus the other areas.
That's
Now
interesting.
this particular quiz we have run for almost 8 to 10 days. It was a daily quiz which we have run every alternate days for 3 weeks. The winners were daily winners 10.
Hmm.
Then we have decided to have a weekly winner. So anyone who would respond all the quiz questions correctly in the entire week, those will be the weekly winners. And then we have decided to have one overall, three overall quiz winners. So anyone who would respond correctly on all the quiz questions across all 3 weeks, those would be the overall quiz winner.
That's
We were
interesting.
okay.
That's the perks or winning name is something which everyone is looking for, right? So that
Right,
creates
right.
lot of interest for everyone to participate in the questions around that.
That's correct. That's correct. And overall aim was to increase the awareness on cyber security. So we were okay with people Googling and checking on the answers and all that.
That's
But
interesting.
the aim was to they should know more and more information about the cybersecurity. And the highlight was in this quiz, we have come up with a separate prize for the best participating team. So any team who would have maximum participation in the quiz, we have planned a very good prize for them. So it was a competition in between the teams that which team is doing better, and we used to share that information periodically twice in a week. That okay, this team is doing better than these are the teams who are in like top five. So we got a very good response because in their own in their internal competitions we thought our objective was done. So
That's
sorry.
interesting. I think so far, it looks very interesting for even for me to understand or to listen to you that okay, you have done a lot for everyone to come together and everyone will participate in the quiz. Could be a individual quiz or could be a team quiz, right? And that's where everyone will come together.
Right. And another the showstopper of the program was a session by our close friend Mr. Vikas Arora.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we have planned an external session,
Okay.
and the idea was we always talk with employees about the phishing and vishing and social engineering, and kind of we scared them that don't click any of the links. But then the normal employees won't come to know what happens if they click on the links. So the background, what happens in the background.
Okay.
So we have planned a showstopper session,
Okay.
and almost more than 200 employees attended this session.
Okay.
And it was a hacking demo along with the security awareness do's and don'ts. So because he came and he has actually shown the hacking demo that once you click on the phishing link, what happens in the background.
Wow,
And
the real life scenario of hacking. Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah, that's really good one. We tell everyone not to share password or not to click on links, but no one knows what will happen after you click,
that's
right? And
correct.
that's a good
That's correct.
one. Yeah, go on.
So in fact, he has actually shown that after clicking the phishing link, how the attacker can get the system admin access on your computer, how he can play with your camera, and all the employees were like, they were surprised to see that, because mainly they might have seen it in some movies, but
Yeah,
actually,
obviously.
witnessing that in person, that's a different experience.
Wow. Okay.
So that was a kind of a showstopper.
I can I
And
can I can imagine Vikas as Tom Cruise in some Mission Impossible movie trying to hack into someone's system that you always get amazed out of all these movies, right? Because that's
yeah,
when you see visually that someone is trying to hack into a system, right? Yeah, go on.
that's
That's a good
correct.
thing. Yeah.
That's correct. And so all these events we have planned, and this was again in addition to the normal office branding what we do. Some of the mailers which we send, so awareness mailers, there were continuous awareness mailers during that week. There were continuous awareness small videos, like 3 to 4 minute videos which we have done, explaining what each function within cybersecurity does. One of the interesting event which we plan is, so we ask our employees to visit the security operations center also, because it's a normally it's a prohibited area where normal employees cannot go. So they always wonder that what might be happening inside these four walls.
Behind the
So
scenes, how we protect our organization through,
yeah, so
through,
it was a
through
good opportunity for us to show them and to explain them that what the cyber defense team or the security operations team do there, what work they do, and kind of indirectly giving a message also that you have been watched by someone.
of
So
course.
that
That's a
that
good.
was also one of
Hmm.
yeah, that was also one of the intention.
That's amazing.
So that was also that was also a good event and got good response.
That's
So
amazing.
so I think these many events with normal cyber security awareness mailers and videos, we were able to manage to hold the fort for 3 weeks, and employees they like the program very much, and
Wow.
they
Okay.
are they a lot of good feedback we got.
Mm-hmm.
We got very good feedback from the senior management as well, because this was one of its kind of a program within Invesco across global offices. So now in this coming year, we are planning to extend this particular program to some of the other locations globally, and we have just started planning for that.
That's amazing. I think you have created a benchmark for Invesco, and I'm sure this will be replicated, and all the improvements will obviously go on, right? And I'm
That's
sure
right.
while sharing your feedback, I think do you see that now senior management is more supporting you? So how's your feeling, and how is your now connect with your senior management?
Senior management, I think they were always supportive,
Okay.
and but yes, after this program and after they have actually witnessed the enthusiasm and the response what we have received, I am sure they know the importance of the security awareness program now in much more detail, and they are definitely supportive of having this particular program. Again, as I mentioned, across the other global locations, so we are trying to expand this program to some other locations as well, and that is their support is clearly evident with this particular fact itself.
Wow, wow. I'm sure that you would be giving good support. You will be getting good support from senior management, and I'm sure everyone will appreciate this, right? So that's a good thing. I think I've learned a lot during your explanation. So if you can tell me, how is your? So I'm sure I was one of the individual who speak to you, and then obviously get the feedback how you have done that. Have you shared
Right.
this with anyone in the industry, and how is your experience so far?
Yes, definitely there were some of the opportunities I have received to share it within industry.
Okay.
I'm part of the DSCI Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity in Hyderabad. So
Okay.
we will have regular touch points or regular conferences for cybersecurity, and those within those conferences, so I have shared this particular bit of cybersecurity awareness programs, and it was well received, and there were a lot of exchange of ideas, because uh, again, based on the organization, and in financial industry, it's more regulated industry than any other industry. So
Yeah.
one size does not fit for all in cybersecurity. So but the sharing these ideas definitely help each other. They can also plan, at least take some of these inputs and plan in their organizations. So similarly, I also have received a lot many inputs or feedback from other CISOs, which I am planning to include it in my cybersecurity awareness program this year. So
That's amazing.
definitely sharing these ideas definitely help, and we can plan it. And the next awareness program would be much more innovative. That I can definitely guarantee you.
Great, great. Let me ask you one more, important aspect, that how do you measure the effectiveness of employees' awareness? See, the idea is you give questions, you deliver the speech, you probably share the videos and audios, but how do you actually measure it? And year by year, probably, you can see yourself saying that, okay, now probably employees are more sensitizing things and coming to you. Yeah.
No, I think Fal, that's a great question, because if you're not measuring it, then there is no outcome, or you cannot conclude the awareness program. At the end of the day, we need to benchmark ourselves somewhere, right? If we are starting from zero, or if we are starting from 20%, 30%, at the end of the program, we need to have some effective measurement criteria to see where we reach. What we are doing in our organization is before the start of the program. So we normally typically roll out the survey, and I think that might be the practice in all the companies.
Yeah.
We roll out the survey based on the designation. So there are different categories like
Okay.
managers and below, managers and above, and one for the senior management.
Okay.
With this survey, we get to know about the pulse of the employees. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in which areas we need to focus more, because as I mentioned about the attrition 12 to 14% and people coming and going and a lot of young workforce, it's always good to get to know the pulse and in which areas we need to focus more, whether it's a privacy, whether it's social engineering, phishing, wishing, password controls, cyber incident, and then again at the manager end level. So what are the strategic areas which we will need to focus, and senior management level again. So the strategic focus is also equally important as against the employee level focus. So post cyber security awareness also we roll out the another survey checking on all the same parameters, and what we found is there were as against the first survey, we got very good response for the second survey, which was post the cyber security awareness program. And that's how we started measuring the effectiveness. But yes, cybersecurity awareness, it's a journey, right? It's a continuous improvement. So in fact this year I'm planning to do more on measuring the effectiveness, and we'll be doing more than just to have or just to roll out this survey.
No, that's amazing. I think that's one of the way to look at the awareness is when you talk to people, how probably how do they take care of the, let's say, customer information. So my
Right.
next discussion topic is, have you seen that while giving this awareness to everyone, they are now sensitive or probably creating more cautions while sharing the customer information, PII data. They now know what PII is. They now know what financial record should be shared with someone. Have you seen that difference?
Of course, yeah, that change I have seen and I have witnessed personally. And in fact, many of the internal or external customers also witnessed that. That was a great point. While employees are advising the end customers about, you should not share your password, or hey, you're
That's
trying to share
amazing.
the social security number, so this is a PII information. So
Wow.
and at the personal level also, now many employees they are coming to my team and giving a feedback that it is helping them in managing a lot of fraudulent calls, which many of us normally quite often received from a lot of
Yeah,
third party marketing
everyone gets
agencies.
all the
Everyone, yeah,
phishing emails, right? And
right.
you can't just
So
put a
now
call.
they know how to manage these calls, the phishing calls, wishing calls, and at either at the company level and at the personal level also.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing. I think one of the awareness experience I can share that we have done the same awareness around data privacy, and we have told everyone not to share the customer information, and it was done so well that I used to get, let's say, 5-10 requests a week for sharing the customer information, and it got increased, and I was surprised to see okay, how there is a difference. See, later,
right,
before awareness, it was actually happening, but it was not coming to us, the infosec team.
that's correct.
Now everyone
That's correct.
knows what are the protocols, and it was so all the awareness. I also feel that it gives very good impression to the employees as well, that okay, what to do on what times, right? And because everyone is
That's
confused, whether to go to infosec team for the customer information, whether to report this is this a phishing email, or is this a real email. We as a technical person also at times feel that okay, it looks like phishing, too good to be true, but is it really true, or is it really
that's
phishing?
correct.
Yeah, so that's
No, I
where,
think
yeah.
yeah, and I think Fal, you hit it on the nail. I think that is the first step, because employees knowing what to do that's the very first and very important step. And if the normal or the junior employee, they are aware about, hey, we have some cyber security team, and they would be the one who would be working on this, taking care of the on these things. I think that's a great success of your program. And of
I agree.
course, along with that, they should be aware about their roles and responsibilities as well.
I agree. So I think we have a tagline saying information security is everyone's responsibility, right?
That's
And
correct. That's
we will
correct.
only achieve until each one of us or probably each one of our employees understand that fact, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
rightly said.
So
Any closing remarks, Vishal, before we wind up?
no, so I think the only point is, as you correctly mentioned, employee awareness is the key. And as we say, we the cybersecurity fraternity say that security is incomplete without you.
That's correct.
So that's
That's a good one. That's a good one. I think we keep on saying that again and again to everyone. That's a
yes.
good point. So great, Vishal. It was really great to hear you. We have learned a lot around this podcast. Um, I have learned one thing that okay, everyone does the information security awareness training, but probably doing that thing little different, which probably will amaze to the employees and all of us, right? And that's where we get a lot of feedback, that whatever you've done last time was amazing, right? So that's where we stand.
No,
So
thanks for having me here. And I think, yeah, it was great discussing with you. And of course, as you correctly mentioned, sharing the experiences always helps.
great. Thank you so much, Vishal. Thank you all viewers. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye. Have a nice day
Thank
ahead.
you very much. Thank you very much, all, and hope you like my lockdown look.
Great, great. Good beard one. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.